What up, Wiz?
What up?
Man, I have been vibing to your EP all day since I started playing it. I got so many questions to ask you, bro. I'm so excited to speak to you. Nice to meet you, bro. My name is My Wand.
My one?
Yeah, like your wand, my wand.
My one. Nice to meet you, my one.
Yeah. Man, I got a lot of questions for you, bro. I haven't heard anything, so everyone can hear. This is his song playing in the back.
It was a great intro, by the way. Having the backdrop, having the song, dude,
Oh no, bro! I
killing
should have.
it.
Listen. If we weren't in COVID, you would be in the office. We got
Oh,
1,000 foot screens. We'd have you on Hollywood Walk of Fame. But for now, we're gonna do what we're gonna do with what we got. First off, congratulations on the EP. Just dropped a couple weeks ago.
yes. Thank you so much, man.
Bro, what a great body of work. So if anyone hasn't heard it yet, it is called What Up Now? No, What About
What
Now? I
about
put What Up
almost?
Now in the thing, my bad. What About Now?
What about now?
7 songs and
Yes.
all of them are quality, bro. There's nothing you skip. It all vibes so well together. You know who I immediately thought of when I heard
Tell
this?
me.
Swayze.
Swayze.
I don't know if you remember Swayze. It was a band, it was a group. It was two guys.
Who
It was
who who told
Cisco
me?
Adler and Swayze.
Oh, someone told me recently. I reminded them of Swayze. I gotta look into them.
Yeah, it's that same kind of like I just woke up on the beach. I have a joint in my mouth. I'm about to get high. It's noon. I love it, man. I'm gonna tell you the three people I compare you to, and then I want
Okay,
to ask some questions. So
please.
first person I thought was Swayze,
Mhm.
and then when I really started to listen more, your
Mhm.
songwriting is immaculate. Every song is catchy. That was one of the things
Well.
that really got me about the project
Mhm.
was everything was its own almost like mini movie. It had great verses, great hooks, bridges, instrumentals were all good. So on that note, you reminded me of Post Malone a lot. You really
Word.
remind
Oh,
me of Post.
that's a big compliment. I fuck with Post Heavy.
Yeah, and then you sound, rest in peace, you sound a lot like Mac Miller to me as well. A lot of your
Yeah,
hooks, I imagine you draw a lot of inspiration from
completely,
Mac.
completely. No, that was one of the very few like celebrity deaths that really affected me. I remember being at I used to work at Second Cup here in Toronto, and when I heard it, I was like, this can't be real, because it's especially as an artist, you have dreams of meeting certain people, and he was like in the top five, So rest in peace.
Absolutely. And I can tell that you were very inspired by his music or you've listened
Mm-hmm.
to a lot of his music. And
Yeah.
yeah, we definitely lost Mac way too young and to hear how it happened, so sad.
Yeah.
But let's get into your journey. Bro, you have a crazy journey. So you were born in South Africa, right?
Correct.
Moved to Germany.
Yes.
I was gonna say hello, my name is Maiwan. I speak a little bit of German. I know a
Oh,
couple
that's
things.
that's perfect.
And then you went from Germany to Toronto.
Yes.
So walk us through that journey. Why all the moves and where are you at now?
Well, the only move I had control over was the one to Toronto. Like I was born in Cape Town. My dad is from South Africa, still lives there. And then my mom moved my brother and me to Germany, and that's where I grew up. And then after high school, I had some money saved up. I was like, I'm trying to see how it is outside my city. And Toronto was, I found a cheap flight, and then the rest was history. Like I just fell in love with the city.
You just backpacked there. You just packed your stuff and
Yeah,
went.
basically, I one bag, like one backpack actually. Yeah,
Wow. And you must have been young. You said right after high school. How
yeah, I was
scary was that?
18. I don't know, like I at that point I had traveled with my family before, and like just with my brother to Cape Town. So like the traveling aspect wasn't like it was new that I was traveling alone, but
Yeah.
otherwise I was more excited than anything else.
You weren't scared at all. Did you know anybody in Toronto?
No, no one, no one.
Wow, wow. So where's your hometown now? What would you claim as your hometown?
Good. I would still say like Lüneburg, like where I grew up, is my hometown, and I made Berlin my home over the past 2 3 years. But honestly, like I feel super comfortable in Toronto, and it's a great city, got great
Amazing
vibes.
city. And from everything I've heard, Toronto is like a undiscovered gem. Like a lot of people don't
Hmm.
know, a lot of people don't plan on traveling there.
Yeah.
But It's such a vibrant city. It's so alive. There's a whole underground to it too that a lot of people
Yeah,
don't know about.
completely.
So I got to ask you, when you were in Germany, I'm assuming during your formative years, like when you went through
Yes.
your teens. Germany is heavily inspired by American culture, like
Oh my God.
breakdancing, hip hop, EDM.
Yes.
So you at one point sang in German, right?
Well, like the first couple songs, but then there were mostly English words included, and then I was like, I'm gonna go for English because it sounded way cooler. It made it harder for myself because I had to lose the accent. It took me some time, and obviously, get better at everything else too. But yeah, English was my
Well,
choice.
so what was that process? Because when I listened to this, I thought you were from California for
Word.
sure. You
So,
sound like you're from the West Coast.
so when people ask me like, "What's your accent?" I say like, I was born in South Africa, raised in Germany, and then 5 years of pretending to be American. So, so that's where that slang comes from because I was imitating all the American rappers, right? And then,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And that's my next question. You're a very, I'd say, genre bending artist where, it's in your name, rap, MC, Wiz the
Mm-hmm.
MC. It's
Right.
engraved in your name. But
Yeah.
the music sounds very vibrant, very alternative and pop as well. What
Mm-hmm.
genre would you use to describe yourself?
No genre yet. I haven't found a genre where I fit in, so that's still to be discovered.
I love that because you don't really have to have a genre
Yeah,
anymore.
you
You
don't.
know,
You gotta have good music, or you don't.
Exactly, exactly. So let's talk about what about now, which everybody
Yeah.
who's reading the little pin chat, it's what about now, not what up now. My bad. Let's talk about the album. So
hmm
you have two collaborations on there, Wolfskind and Hugo.
Yes.
And besides them, who else helped you make the album?
So mostly Hugo produced most of the songs, except, well, Say Hi was produced by Wolfskin in Bayuk, and then All My Friends Are Stone was produced by Jeff Hazen over here in Toronto.
Oh wow, so they
Yeah.
is Hugo on that song is doing vocals as well?
No, he's a producer, and so on one of the songs he's credited as a producer, but otherwise he's, I guess, a ghost producer on all of the rest of like Circles, Who, Lied. He also produced those.
Got it.
Yeah,
Well, man,
yeah,
he crushed it. Your boy Hugo is on fire.
he did, he did.
Was the music, a lot of it sounded analog, like live instruments, live guitar,
Mm-hmm.
bass. Was it
Mm-hmm.
more live instruments or more digital?
It was more live. Like the whole sound was inspired or came together through meeting Hugo because I met him last summer, and he comes from a pop background, so lots of keyboard and live guitar and stuff like that. And so I came from a rap background, and that blend ultimately, shaped What About Now in that sense.
Yes, it's such a beautiful blend. So
Yeah.
I wasn't able to go through your whole discography. Is your past work more like hardcore rap, more rapping?
Definitely more rapping. Here and there, you hear some harmony, like melodies come in, but I didn't know much. I didn't know what melodies or harmonies or anything of that stuff was up until I met Hugo, and he was like, "Can you do this and do that?" And then more and more I understood, that I
Wow.
actually liked singing and liked melodies. It was like before that, I was just rapping and making sounds I liked, really.
So this is the first album where you focused on melodies, song composition, and all that.
Well, Growing Teeth was like a mixtape that kind of set the tone for that, which came out in January. But this one is
Hmm.
is a more sophisticated version of that, definitely.
Got it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very well put together. That was one of my notes was a lot of rappers. When I saw your name, I was like, all right,
hmm
I'm gonna hear another rap album. But I
Right.
didn't. I heard,
Yeah.
as you said, there's no genre to it. Very genre bending. A lot
hmm
of hooks. Every song has a well put together hook. You
Appreciate
rap
it.
some verses, you sing some
hmm
verses. I want to say the last song on the album, I think it was called "I Know."
I know.
You
Yeah.
you rapped your ass off. Like you were rapping your ass off. So how do you get into it's almost like a different you when you're singing
hmm
versus when you're rapping. Do you have a different process in writing or in recording?
Honestly, I go like first, whatever, I hear the guitar and then that sets me in the mood, and mostly I start with the chorus. And then I see if I want to sing the verse, I want to rap the verses, and oftentimes it's funny because like Now I like to sing more, and let's say like Jeff Hazen is like, oh, we need some rap stuff. Okay, man, I give you a rap verse, and then I write a rap verse. So it's kind of like, like I just write and then see what the song needs, and with the help of the producer, it helps me a lot to get a different perspective, instead of just seeing what I feel like it needs.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful thing that you found a team. And you said
Hmm.
you met Hugo last summer.
Right, correct.
How did you meet him?
That was funny actually because so I got back to Germany after I spent some time in Toronto, and I went to this kind of studio, like house full of studios, and I was invited to a songwriting session of this band Culture Candela, which is like a pretty big band in Germany. And I used to listen to them as a kid, so it was kind of like a little dream come true that I met them
Yeah.
all, and they asked me to write with them, and then Hugo ended up being their producer, and it was also his first session. And so after the session, we just had a beer and we just made our first song that night, and then kept working.
Wow, wow.
Yeah,
What a wonderful moment
yeah,
that German band you grew up
yeah,
off that
yeah,
like I'm sure are past their heyday, past their prime,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
brought you
yeah,
together with your new
yeah.
producer.
I know that's it's so funny.
Such an amazing thing. And so you released a project in January, and then you
Hmm.
released What About Now? Um, how long did it take you to make this project?
So this one came together last summer, most of it, and all my friends are stoned. Was beginning of this year, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, it's honestly like I haven't sat on songs for this long before. So it was exciting that they finally, saw the light of
Yeah.
the day.
Well, I
So
think you
yeah.
did the right thing, Wiz, because when I heard this album or the
Mhm.
EP, the first thing I thought was this is perfectly timed because we just
Mhm.
went through so much hardship in
Mhm.
2020, so much political unrest, and
Mhm.
in America, at least after the election, there's like a
Mhm.
feeling of relief. At least we know
Mhm.
who's going to be our
Mhm.
next
Right.
president, and we could, we're slowly getting into the holidays. So
Mhm.
I think you dropped this album at the right time. Were you waiting to drop the album? I feel like you might have been waiting for the world to get a little more normal.
Honestly, was I waiting? Like, me and my manager, we try to just see what the best point is to put music out. Like, if it would go after me, I would release a song every 2 days. But it
Of
just doesn't
course.
make sense because people got to digest it, right?
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
understand that, and I'm learning more about the business day by day. And so it was like, I was releasing singles in between, for a minute, made some noise, and I was like, okay, let's drop the EP. And so I think in that sense, it was the perfect timing. But I appreciate you saying it's the perfect timing because for me, it always feels too late. But that's because I, listen to the songs for
Well,
a year now.
absolutely. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, a lot of the fans and people behind the scenes don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
normally when we hear the song, you made
Mm-hmm.
it a year ago,
Yeah.
sometimes 2 years ago,
The artist
and
is
you
sick of it by the time the public hears it.
exactly. Exactly. So what was the difference for you between Growing Pains and What About Now? What's makes the albums different?
um, I also like the title. Maybe I should have called it Growing Pains, Growing Teeth, but Growing
Oh,
Pain.
Growing Teeth, I'm
No,
the worst,
maybe
bro.
no, no, no. Maybe Growing Pain is the next album, man. That's a great.
I'm about to lose my job over this
No,
interview.
man, no, man. I fucking love it. I love it. I need new ideas, man. That's it. Growing Pain.
So Growing
Um,
Teeth, what was the
the
difference between that
the
and
the
What About Now?
difference. You tell me honestly. Like like Growing Teeth was a like a, I don't know, concise project in a sense that I think it was 10 songs, and I
Hmm.
felt I expressed everything that I wanted to express in on that tape, singing and rapping, and it was just like it was a phase of my life. And now the EP is kind of just a couple months, ahead of what happened during the times of Growing Teeth.
Got it. Well, just
Yeah.
looking at the track titles, the album cover, the kind of like energy I get from Growing
Hmm.
Teeth, it seems like a more of like a coming of like a man or like it's like
Yeah,
you growing up.
exactly, exactly. And what about now is like I don't know, like I can't like I come up with like project titles like out of the blue, so I still don't know what about now is gonna mean or means. But to me, currently, it's just like kind of like looking in the mirror and being like, what about now? Like look at what you accomplished so far. Like what about now? How do you feel about yourself now? Or to the public, you know, like, what about now? Are you willing to listen now? Like, are you ready?
Ah.
Or even in the sense to like old crushes you had, or like on girls you wanted to date. You know, it's like,
What about
what
now?
about now? You know,
I love it,
you
man.
know.
Well, look, man, you dropped such an incredible body of work. I don't know what you have coming up, but I would wait. I would let this really like
Mm,
digest, let the
mm-hmm.
people digest it
Yeah.
because this is what the people need. And anybody who hasn't heard What About Now,
Mm-hmm.
just get ready to have a good time. If you like to drink, grab yourself a drink. If you're going to smoke a joint, roll that joint up tight because it's honestly a journey and it's like riding down here in LA, we have a road called PCH that
Okay.
rides all along the coast. Your
Mm.
album to me reminds me of driving down PCH,
Wow.
you know, cigar in the mouth or a blunt, and that's the energy I
Don't
got from
drive
it.
high, but I
Of
like the
course,
idea.
yeah. Tell me why I interviewed an artist like 3 weeks ago. Wiz, the artist hopped on the live
Yeah.
smoking and driving.
So,
And then mid interview, he's holding his phone. He puts his knee on the wheel and starts rolling it backward. So I'm glad that you just said that.
wow, man.
So I want to ask you a couple more questions.
Yes.
Now, what are some future collaborations that you want to manifest? Like people that you want to work with, you haven't had the opportunity yet, but you know you're going to get there.
Post Malone and Ed Sheeran.
Oh, I can see it. I can see it. What about
Yeah.
producers? Any producers?
Uh, Producers. Benny Blanco.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
amazing. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing. That'd be a different kind of lane, right? Get you into more of that kind of like
I
dance
would,
hall.
or anything. Like, I just saw the documentary songwriter of Benny Blanco and Ed Sheeran, and got so inspired, and he just seems such a sick dude, and like his producing skills are crazy, and so yeah.
You guys heard it here first. Wiz the MC and Benny Blanco. It is going to happen. I have a
Yes.
good feeling about that. So, what about now that the project is out? What do you have coming up? Videos? You have maybe some virtual concerts?
Oh, actually, I have in my calendar, I don't know if we change the schedule, and I might get shit from my publicist, but I think a music video is dropping tomorrow. Kristen, tell me if that's true or
Oh,
no, because she's here, I think.
can we
Yeah, so a
can we
music video.
know which video or for what
Well,
song?
let me hear Kristen or Jacob if they're gonna confirm it. I think they're in here.
Okay, let's see. Kristen says,
What's she
"Hey,
saying? What's she say? Hey, is it
is
dropping
that
tomorrow? Is
Kristen? We need to know. The people need to know." Well, while she gets back to us,
Yes.
um, what has 2020 done for you as an artist? A lot of artists I've spoke to actually said 2020 helped their career in the sense of being able to lock in, being able to just worry about the music. What has it done for you as an artist?
Um, what has it done for me? I don't know. Just honing on my craft. Like when quarantine hit, I used that to just go hard. And for a minute, it was like one of the first 20 demos I made, like in the first 2 weeks. Like I just really worked hard in the first weeks. And so I guess that, like, I didn't know, like, it was just a song. It was just a demo to me, up until it blew up. And I was like, wow, this, gives so much more opportunity, and ultimately got me the record deal I have right now. And so it's like, in that sense, you know, 2020 helped me like that.
Absolutely. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. I think for a lot of artists, 2020 was good.
Hmm.
DJs, I pray for all the DJs and
Yeah.
everybody in the chat too who was impacted by 2020. Prayers to you guys. We're almost done, and I think we'll slowly get back to a normalcy in 2021.
Yes.
So do you got anything else you want to drop for your fans? We got fans in here asking about you, asking about what the video is going to be. Kristen said perhaps
Like a real
is
good publicist.
perhaps is not one of the songs, Kristen. We don't
Uh,
know.
so I guess you gotta check in my YouTube and see if anything happens, tomorrow.
Yeah,
But otherwise, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Keep sharing it with your friends. Like, my favorite messages are from people saying that whatever, like, their crush showed them a song, and now they're a fan, or like, you know, their best friends, or like, what was it? One story was someone was like, someone was playing your song Autumn at like 3 a.m. outside my apartment, and then I asked them who it was, and then they found out about my music, and that's just like, you know, I love the organic spread of music, and because that's
Yeah,
how I came across of music, you know, I was through
absolutely.
hearing it from other people, and so, you
And
know,
you
keep
know
sharing it.
your music is damn good when somebody played it at 3 a.m. out their window and their neighbors didn't complain. The neighbors said, "What the fuck was that playing? I want to hear that again." That's amazing,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And
Amazing,
so
man.
keep spreading it, blast the music loud, and you know, have fun.
Absolutely. So you're in
Yeah.
Toronto right now,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
Beautiful. Well, when you come to LA, you got a home
Yes.
at Dash Radio. We got a
Okay.
3-story office content like facility in Hollywood on the Walk of Fame that we want to have you come in. We can play basketball in the back. We got a
Oh
full
yes.
basketball court, radio rooms in the front. So we
Wow.
definitely, anytime you're in LA, tap in with us for sure.
Appreciate it, man.
Of
Been a
course,
blast.
man.
Thank you for
Of
having me,
course.
man.
Of course. Thank you so much for jumping in. Congrats on the EP. What about now? Not what up now. What about now? I love it. That's my new thing. What about now? I love it, man. Congrats on the EP. Continued
Thank you.
success. I don't know too much German, but I know how to say tschüss. So we'll end it with that.
Cheers.
All right, tschüss.
Peace. Much love.
Thanks, Will. Thank you, everybody who watch, all of our viewers in Germany. Ich kann nicht Deutsch, but you know, shout out to everybody watching from Germany, from South Africa, anyone from Toronto. If you guys don't know about Dash Radio, check our Instagram out. Download the app. 100% free, zero charge. 80 plus stations playing you all the latest music 24/7. You can listen to Dash on your desktop. You can listen to Dash on your phone, on your Amazon Alexa, on your Apple TV. We got Dash Radio everywhere. Shout out to Brazil. Brazil, que pasa? That wasn't right. I shouldn't have done that in Spanish. Shout out to Brazil, though. Thank you guys so much. Definitely check out WizTheMC's What About Now EP, and stay tuned with Dash Radio. We always got great content coming. We will be live on Twitch later tonight, so check us out. Download the app, hop over to our Twitch, get yourself Dash Radio. Guarantee you won't be disappointed. Thank you guys so much. Shout out Yaha and Kiara on there. I see you. Italy.